Tonight, let's once again travel back in time, back to a world without electric lights, without glowing screens, without late-night notifications, a world where the night felt longer, quieter, and strangely peaceful. Tonight, we step into a small medieval village in England. The sun has already disappeared behind distant hills, and a soft blue darkness is slowly covering the land. Candles begin to glow inside wooden homes. Fires crackle gently in stone fireplaces, and the village prepares for another quiet night. But the nighttime routine of medieval people was very different from ours. Much slower, much simpler, and sometimes surprisingly unusual. So relax, get comfortable, and let's quietly explore what a normal evening looked like in a medieval village. In the modern world, nighttime often feels busy. Cities glow with lights. Traffic continues for hours. People stay awake late into the night. But in medieval times, sunset changed everything. Once the sun disappeared, most work stopped. Farmers returned home from the fields. Craftsmen closed their workshops. Market stalls were packed away. Darkness arrived quickly. Without electricity, night truly meant night. Inside small homes, families gathered around the fire. The fireplace was the center of the house. It provided warmth, light, and comfort. People would sit together, quietly talking about the day. Sometimes they repaired tools. Sometimes they told stories. And sometimes they simply sat in peaceful silence. After a long day of physical work, the body naturally slowed down. The entire village gradually became calm. Dinner in medieval villages was usually simple. There were no complicated recipes or long cooking shows. Most meals were made from what people had grown themselves. Bread was very common. So were vegetables like onions, cabbage, and peas. Sometimes families shared a pot of warm stew slowly cooking over the fire. The smell of herbs and smoke filled the air. People ate slowly, often sharing food from the same bowl. It was not unusual for the entire family to sit close together near the fire. The warmth made the cold nights easier to bear. After eating, dishes were simple to clean, often just wooden bowls and spoons. Then the evening slowly continued. In many medieval villages, church bells were an important part of daily life. They marked time in a world without watches. The evening bell often rang as darkness settled over the village. The sound could travel across fields and hills. For many people, it was a signal that the day was ending. Work was finished. It was time to rest. Some villagers quietly said evening prayers. Others simply prepared their homes for the night. The bell was comforting. It reminded everyone that life followed a shared rhythm. The same rhythm, day after day. Medieval villages were never completely silent. Even late at night, animals could often be heard. Chickens resting in wooden coops, dogs quietly guarding homes, cows shifting slowly in nearby barns. Sometimes an owl called from a distant tree, or the wind moved gently through tall grass. These natural sounds were normal. People grew used to them from childhood. Instead of disturbing sleep, they became part of the peaceful background of village life. In a strange way, these sounds made the night feel alive. As the night grew darker, families slowly prepared for sleep. Candles were expensive, so they were not left burning for long. Many homes had only 1 or 2 candles for the entire evening. When the candle flame became small, it was usually time to sleep. People carefully checked the fireplace. Hot embers were covered with ash to keep them warm until morning. Doors were secured. Wooden shutters were closed. Then families gathered around their beds. Some homes had only 1 bed. Others had simple sleeping spaces made from straw mattresses. But comfort was not the most important thing. Warmth was. During cold seasons, sharing sleeping space helped everyone stay warm. Blankets made from wool were valuable and used carefully. Then, slowly, the room became quiet. One thing modern people rarely experience is true darkness. In medieval times, when candles were blown out, the night became completely black. No streetlights, no glowing windows from neighbors, no distant city lights on the horizon, just darkness. Sometimes the moon provided gentle silver light. Other nights were darker than anything we experience today. For many villagers, this darkness felt peaceful. It meant the world was finally resting. The fields were quiet, the roads were empty, even the wind seemed softer. Night was a time when the entire village slowed down together. After the evening routines ended, people finally settled into bed. The fire glowed softly in the corner. The air smelled faintly of wood smoke. Outside, the village rested under the open sky. There were no alarms to set, no late-night messages waiting on phones, just the quiet rhythm of nature. Bodies that had worked all day slowly relaxed, eyes closed, and the first sleep began, a deep, natural sleep shaped by long days of physical activity and fresh air, the same sleep that people had followed for centuries. When we imagine medieval life, we often think about castles, knights, and dramatic battles. But most people lived simple village lives. Their nights were slower, quieter, more connected to nature. Without electric lights or modern distractions, the evening gently guided people toward rest. The entire village followed the same rhythm. Sunset meant slowing down. Darkness meant sleep. And in that quiet world, people rested under the same stars we see today. So tonight, as you prepare for sleep in the modern world, imagine that peaceful medieval village, a small wooden home, a fading fire, the distant sound of wind across open fields, and a calm night stretching quietly until morning. Good night.